go faster. I tend to not talk as much, and that's pretty cool. So, making bread over here. I love bread making, and then we got coffee making. So just keeping some eyes on stuff and smoking some pot, watching some YouTube. Um, Again, shit's gone crazy, but I just want to cover over some things that are going on up there. Now, what is going on up there? Controlled demolition. Controlled demolition. Okay. If you watch the cycles, the annular cycles of Polybius, it shows like what they're doing. It shows exactly what they're doing. We're at the last stages of democracy. Okay? It's going to collapse into a disorder. So their plan is to interject at the last minute between the collapse and bring back a semblance of whatever. Now let's talk. We're going to call this one the two roads, just because. What have you been? What have you been doing since the 90s? At least, if not before then. The lesser of two evils. When we vote for president or whatever, it's always the lesser of two evils, right? And so, because it's the lesser of two evils, we're still choosing evil. And then the next person comes along is like a continuation of that. So there's like a lesser of that. You know what I mean? If this, like Barack Obama, if he had done really, really well, then Joe Biden would have been the next successor to go after him, right? So you just go, it's going to get worse and worse and worse in that direction. Whereas everything heading in from Reagan was heading straight towards Trump. Everything that was going towards like Clinton and stuff was heading straight towards Hillary Clinton when you look at the long enough timeline. Now Hillary's going to probably would have gone into it again. Understand that although the roads diverge, they are two wings of the same bird. Like right now, they just signed an executive order authorizing mass detention of the homeless. The only way we can compete possibly with other countries as far as industry would be to allow slavery back. But that's not allowed in America. I said all this in the 90s. Except for prisoners. So you start getting tough on law. Right? Tough on crime. Now, there's another way to do it. It's the nice way, which Hillary and them would have done. Okay? If they would have had their way about it, they would have gone ahead and had it where a universal pay. You're still a slave. And we still will probably go towards that direction. But it'll probably be, it won't be a universal pay. It'll be a pay that you basically are like slave wages. Trump said it when he went into office, Americans make too much money. How he got elected on Americans make too much money, and they all cheered. I don't know, but he did. Probably because he's the Antichrist. The Antichrist is real. Donald Trump is real. And understand that if they would have gone the other direction, whoever they would have gone with, that would have been the Antichrist. It's a matter of who's leading right now, right as the ship goes down. Now, America would rather have Donald Trump. Understand America, the beast institution that backed Reagan, that backed everybody that they back. Bush versus McCain. All the people that they backed. The ones that should have possibly lost, but did not lose. That's who America supports. And you can tell who they support because they have the bigger showing, like on the day of the not election, the announcement of who won the presidency. Joe Biden had this whole huge fireworks display that was done with freaking drones and all this other stuff. Whatever Trump had would have paled in sad comparison, because America, the country, not the voters. America voted Joe Biden. They tried to make it where the Trump supporters could accept it by giving that they took the House. They had the other ones 50-50. And Kamala was the deciding factor. So it's kind of like, get along, get over it, and move on. And we'll just keep going. And imagine if that had happened. If they had just elected Joe Biden, they had that 50-50, and Trump had never started his talks about how there is a fraud. That never started. There'd be rumors, whatever, if he shot him down and just said, no, look, man, I lost. I'll try again in 2024. Can you imagine? No January 6th, none of that shit. Just stop and, And so, but no. So these two roads are actually the same road, and they're going the same place. It's just, what side do you want to see? You want to see a positive side? Okay, then instead of making everybody criminals, we'll make everybody employees. All those extra lines at TJ Maxx and all those extra lines at Target and all this stuff, we'll stock those with people, and then you'll get a universal pay. And because you have a universal pay, all the lines are wide open. Everybody's getting universal pay. When you go in the store, you can get pretty much everything you want. If you work your 40 hours, you'll get it. And there's like a limit per day or whatever, but so there's not a super run on things. But or the other route would be to make the average citizen into a criminal and then make them have to be a slave. Either way, you're getting the citizenry back working. When you go that route, we might as well get the homeless off the street. Right, but we're not going to do it the nice way. No, we're not doing it the nice way. So rather than build some actual homeless shelters, which we had planned budgeted for several billion, like $12 billion, we'll instead do $40 billion for detention homes. Why would we do that? Well, because if we have they have the private prisons, and so they're run by these mega corporations. It's really gross. And then they can also, on top of that, charging for that, they can also charge for the labor. What they'll more than likely end up doing is giving the prison like $5 per hour per prisoner, and then they pay the prisoner like $2 per hour or $2.50 per hour, because they're not already making money off of them for housing them. It's all about multiplying their money. It's all about multiplying their money, taking their money and making $5 into $10 into $100 into fucking 50 trillion into fucking, without doing anything, while calling everybody else lazy. So if you call everybody else lazy, and what you do is actual work, well then no one can ever compete with you, can they? Because you are the epitome of all that is good and all that is right. How dare you even think you can compare with me? I mean, I am the very basis by which they judge things to be right. What is wrong with you? And this ain't the case. But again, understand that we don't fight against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So therefore, if we're not fighting against flesh and blood, it's not Donald Trump. It's what he stands for. So all people are like, oh, he says what's on my mind. Then he stands for you. And you're the reason this is happening. He is the fruit of your tree. Of your American tree that you wanted to grow. Whether you want to look at it or not, this is exactly what Democrats were saying you guys were doing this whole time, as you guys screamed, no, witch hunt, and or no, you guys are blowing things out of proportion. Meanwhile, you're saying if we let a gay person marry a gay person, what's next? Someone's going to marry a frog. That has not yet come to pass. And where it has been coming to pass, that people want that kind of shit, it's not in necessarily democratic states, let's say, where they're trying to fuck animals. On top of that, like, for some reason you guys think it's a funny thing to go down to Mexico and watch a donkey show. You know, they're supposed to be, according to like the Bible, you're supposed to put both of the animals to death. Just saying. So I'm guessing all the observers who went there to pay to watch, to be impressed, to be turned on to whatever the fuck it is, I guess they're probably going to have something to talk about with God. I don't know. All I know is I think I'm pretty clean on that level. I've got my own shit I got to worry about. I got to put some triple antibiotic on my fucking cut. But that ain't one of them, man. That is not one of them. So you're just going to bear with me here. Ah ha ha. There we go. Triple antibiotic. Ah. Soothing. There we go. Oh, crap, man. That hurts like a motherfucker. Ah, shit. Alright, so, anyways. Welcome to my bathroom. How do you feel, huh? Intimate yet? Didn't know all my secrets for the nights through. Alright, so it's Saturday, the Sabbath day, the Black Sabbath. Ozzy's coming home. See you on the other side. Alright, so. But yeah, those two paths, it's while they seem like they're going different places, they're going the same place. It's just like, if you can imagine, one path is going up a hill, and then it goes up the hill, and it starts going, and it's just rocky, going up a hill or whatever. The other one goes down a hill, and you don't even realize it, but you turn it upside down, and it's got its own hills and peaks and valleys. You're looking at the same thing, and just from different angles, you understand? Once you make that transition from one hill, one path goes up, one path goes down. You guys chose the lesser road. The Donald Trumpian. It doesn't even matter. Listen to me. It doesn't even matter if you picked him the first time and not the second time. Your first one lent legitimacy to his second run. Do you understand? It doesn't matter, because if nothing else, the fact that he's known for pulling an upset like that gave legitimacy to the fact that if they decided to not, he didn't win, but just to go ahead and say he did, because he's going to freak out and say that he won anyways. And instead of having another January 6th situation on your hand, you just let all of his MAGA fans just have it. Just have it. Call it a gift. Okay? Let's see how far it gets you. See what you can do with your great, fantastic, majestic hero in his outer space costume NFT and his goddamn stupid haircut and his fat Marge. But see how far that gets you with his adultery and his cheating, and see if God lets you into heaven. Seriously. Get to the door and go, hey, no, I know Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, and see if that's like, and you're bragging. Yeah, I am. You guys know each other, right? Like, oh yeah, we know each other, all right. But most people know not to mention that fucking name around me, because I'll smack the shit out of you. No, he's your buddy. If you say that to me one more time, I'm gonna hurt you. You don't like him? I fucking hate that adultering piece of shit who wants to fuck his daughter. Would you like to see what I've done with him? It isn't pretty. You know? It's a fuck Donald Trump and everything he stands for. There's a guy over here the other day saying that, you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, and that's whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. He's like, like for instance, you believe that everyone's going to hell, and I don't believe that. I'm like, you don't have to believe it, it's in the book. He's like, well, I don't believe that. I'm like, you don't have to believe it, you have to read it. It's right in Revelation. I'll take you right to it right now. No, of course not. Of course, no. When you guys wanted to say, I asked you where it's in there. You're like, it's in there. Yeah, but where? Where? It's in there. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Where? It's in there. Fuck you. You don't even have an opinion. You have a fucking branded idea that's been stuck in your goddamn head, and that's it, man. And then I tell you that you can fucking read what I'm saying flat out, and you go, nah, I'll pass. Dude, get the fuck out of my house, would you? I don't got time for that. Anyways, as I said, the two roads were looking like they could possibly go different ways, but that's only from an outside view that doesn't understand what's actually going on. When you're actually looking at it, you'd see that they work for the same fucking company, and that's called USA. And USA doesn't give a shit about you and me. Ever, never, ever. There's no politicians that do. Sorry. None. And if they do, their sincerity is used as a weapon against you so that you'll trust them. And then the people that are above them that need to get elected. Sorry. That's why people tune in and tune out, because they do not want to hear this. You notice that? I've noticed that. Politics and religion. No one wants to talk about it. Those people have a lot. No, it's because you have your own ideas, and mine disagree with yours, and mine honestly make more sense, which means you have to retool everything you fucking think. And or you don't understand it because it conflicts with what you believe so hard that you just go, this guy's a nut, and just leave. I don't care. I really don't care, man. Do whatever you do. We used to do The Watchmen. And, I used to do The Watchmen because Trey did a couple and then basically just disappeared. Chasing after tail. But, I don't know how much time left in the bread. Sweet. So, but yeah, as soon as I get on there, people would just log out because, my opinions do not jive with what other people believe. And, and Trey's just did. He just would go in there and he'd talk about how, you're saved and the Jesus stuff, and everybody would tune in. And then I get on there and be like, yeah, I mean, well, you are, but I mean, you gotta consider the fact that God is a thinking creature, huh? Well, if he decided not to say, I'm not saying he will, okay? Oh, he's not gonna do that. I didn't say he will. But if he decided, he's not gonna do that. But if he decided to, but he said a promise. I know this scares you, but the fear of the Lord endureth forever and ever and ever, so therefore it should scare you. It should scare the fuck out of you. God decides, not Jesus, unless he gave that power exclusively over to Jesus, which then he can do. It's his to give away, to do whatever he wants. But anyway it goes, the Bible's written that the Antichrist would come, right? So it doesn't really matter what person. What matters is that they're against Jesus. They're against Yeshua. They're against the Son of God. Anyone who claims to be, who denies the Father or the Son is of the Antichrist, of that would only be one guy that I can think of, and that'd be, Donald Trump, because he actually said that he just doesn't bring God into his forgiveness. There's no one else to bring into your forgiveness. There's no one else to bring into it. And he's like, I just try not to do bad things. Try. And then when I do bad things, I just make up for them. Can you show me in the passage in the Bible where it says that that is a salvation passage? There's a path to salvation that includes you doing what you want to do and deciding what is a sin and what is bad and what is good and what is not. I don't recall reading that ever anywhere in any doctrine, except for maybe the Art of the Trump Bible. And I don't believe in that shit. That shit's a bunch of bullshit. Because it's bullshit, and that's not, it's just not the way things go. But again, just rest comfortably in the fact that Democrat or Republican, we would have ended up here in this exact same situation, exact place where we are. Two roads going to the exact same place, just different look to it. We could have been in a much happier looking version, but it would have looked happier for a bit until everybody realized how much it was actually just a big prison camp that spread across the world. Like this will. This will spread across the world. Slowly but surely. If we can't stop it, no one can. So, and the thing is, we're not going to. The people are going to sit back and go, what are you guys going to do about it? They're never going to go, okay, we voted this fuckhead in. We're not going to vote him out. It's going to take more than voting him out. Because they're not coming to help you. They aren't. If they come to help you, it will be the military. It'll be too late, and they're going to institute martial law. Plain simple. Understand that. If you sit there and you wait for it to happen. Now, if you try to force it to happen, they will resist you. And they'll institute martial law. It's too late. It's too late. It's gone too far. It's ready to go. It's ready to blow now. They have no choice but to pull it. So that's what they're going to do. Enjoy the fireworks.